Team, today Unit 7 Lesson 2, and today we're moving into hundredths. So very similar t-TED today. Hundredths place is one place value to the right of the tenths place and is 10 times less than the tenths. It is one part of the whole. What? It is only part of the whole. It should not say one. So very, very similar to the day before, where this is one place value to the right of the ones, 10 times less and only part of the whole. Today is the same. So we're going to use very similar questions. How many wholes do I need? How many equal parts is the whole partitioned into and why? How many parts are being referred to and how can I represent the fraction, visual model, and decimal? So kids are going to go into this problem. What they're going to recognize is 100 students in the school band, 8 students in the band play drums. What amount of the band plays drums? So first question, how many wholes are we referring to? We're referring to one band. So then how many parts is my whole broken into? 100. You can see that I'm also representing here, and I'll tell you why in just a second. How many parts are being referred to? 8. And then how can I represent this as a fraction? And I didn't finish the decimal point part over here. But the key idea is kids need to see they're going from tenths, 10 parts of the whole, to hundredths, 100 parts of the whole. And actually, there are 10 hundredths in a tenth. So if I partitioned each of these into 10 equal parts all the way across, I would get hundredths. So there's a way today of us partitioning both how many wholes do I need to represent. For 25 hundredths, just one. How many parts do I need to partition my whole into? These ones could stay the same because 25 hundredths is made up of 2 tenths and 5 hundredths. And so today, let the kids jump in first. They're probably going to be like, I don't know what to do with this guy. And you'll be like, okay, well, maybe try this one first. And then you show them, well, even though this one isn't broken into hundredths, I can still partition a tenth into hundredths by breaking it into 10 equal parts. That is equivalent, 10 hundredths is equivalent to 1/10, is a key understanding that kids need to have today. They move on, they need to be able to represent, this is super weird how they have the box up there. How many tenths out of 10 total parts are being referred to, or how many hundredths out of hundreds total parts being referred to. So how many tenths or hundredths do I have, and how can I represent those tenths and hundredths to the visual model, fraction, or word form? So this is, first you want them to probably annotate this to show what place values these are in. This is hundredths, 0 tenths, and no ones. So I know I can move over here and represent it. I could also partition this. And this is 5 hundredths. What would make this better is we had word form available to kids also for them to touch. 9 hundredths, make a tiny, tiny little place value chart. Maybe not a good one. Ones, tenths, hundredths. I have no ones, I have no tenths, but I do have 9 hundredths. That's the thinking we want kids doing, and you can hear me saying it. That's actually what I'm asking myself. So if I have 9 hundredths, which of these visual models represents 9 hundredths? This guy, but I could partition in my tenths into 10 equal parts to get hundredths. As we work through, you're converting fluently between fractions and decimals, being able to explain the equivalency of 8 tenths equals 80 hundredths. They take up the same part of the whole, they're equivalent fractions. And in the end, you want a child, this is a really awful exit ticket, to be able to say 5 over 100 is 5 hundredths, saying that, and then recognizing 5 hundredths means the 5 goes in the hundredths place, not the tenths and not the ones place. Similar content knowledge here. How many parts do I have? How many parts do I need to partition into? What place value does that fall into? And how many hundredths do you need in order to regroup to a tenth? That's very important.